will you
Well,
let
some
the
of the
Europeans...
European nations have been helpful, and some haven't. And I'm, very surprised. Germany's been great. He's been terrific. Others have been very good, terrific. I think the head of NATO, Mark, is fantastic. Mark Rutte. I think he's fantastic. But some of the European, like Spain, has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott to cut off all dealings with Spain. Spain, first of all, it started when every European nation, at my request, paid 5%, which they should be doing. And everybody was enthusiastic about it, Germany, everybody. And Spain didn't do it. And now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases. And that's all right, we could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it. But we don't have to. But they were unfriendly. And so I told them, we don't want to. Spain has absolutely nothing that we need other than great people. They have great people, but they don't have great leadership. And as you know, they were the only country that in NATO would not agree to go up to 5%. I don't think they would agree to go up to anything. They wanted to keep it at 2%, and they don't pay the 2%. So we're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain.
Tensions between Washington and Madrid have reached a breaking point as Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez remains steadfast in his opposition to the U.S.-led military campaign in Iran. The rift deepened after President Donald Trump threatened to sever all trade ties with Spain. Speaking from the Oval Office, the president expressed frustration over Spain's refusal to allow U.S. forces to use joint military bases on its soil for offensive strikes against Iranian targets. Trump suggested that while the U.S. could technically fly in and use the bases if it chose to, he is prepared to use economic leverage, specifically a total trade embargo, to punish Madrid for its lack of cooperation.
La posición del gobierno de España se resume en 4 palabras: no a la guerra. El mundo, Europa y España ya han estado aquí antes. Hace 23 años, otra administración estadounidense nos arrastró a una guerra en Oriente Medio. Es verdad que aún es pronto para saber si la guerra de Irán tendrá consecuencias semejantes a la de Irak, si servirá para provocar la caída del terrible régimen de los ayatolás en Irán o para estabilizar la región. Lo que sí sabemos es que de ella no va a salir un orden internacional más justo, ni tampoco va a salir de ella salarios más altos, ni mejores servicios públicos, ni un medio ambiente más saludable. De hecho, lo que de momento podemos vislumbrar son más incertidumbre económica, subidas de precio de petróleo y también del gas. En España estamos en contra de este desastre, porque entendemos que los gobiernos estamos aquí para mejorar la vida de la gente, para aportar soluciones a los problemas, no para empeorar la vida de la gente. Y es absolutamente inaceptable que aquellos dirigentes que son incapaces de cumplir con ese cometido usen el humo de la guerra para ocultar su fracaso y llenar de paso los bolsillos de unos pocos, los de siempre. Los únicos que ganan cuando el mundo deja de construir hospitales para construir misiles. El gobierno va a seguir exigiendo un cese de las hostilidades y una resolución diplomática de esta guerra. Y quiero además explicitarlo, porque sí, la palabra adecuada es exigir, porque España es un miembro pleno de la Unión Europea, de la OTAN y de la comunidad internacional. Y porque esta crisis también nos afecta a nosotros, a los europeos y por consecuencia a los españoles. Y por eso tenemos que exigir todo la resolución a Estados Unidos, a Irán, a Israel, para que paren antes de que sea demasiado tarde. Lo he dicho en muchas ocasiones y lo repito ahora, no se puede responder a una ilegalidad con otra, porque así es como empiezan los grandes desastres de la humanidad.
Prime Minister Sanchez responded to the threats in a televised address, summarizing his government's stance in 3 words: no to war. Sanchez argued that the unilateral military action by the U.S. and Israel risks playing Russian roulette with millions of lives and contributes to a more hostile international order. Despite the threat of severe economic consequences, the Spanish leader insisted that his country would not be complicit in a conflict it deems contrary to international law and its own national values. As the war enters its fifth day, the diplomatic standoff underscores a growing divide between the Trump administration and one of its key European partners.